Have you ever looked at two completely different things, for example, a painting and a person, and realized that, okay, both of these two things are very beautiful? In that moment, you're noticing something interesting. You're noticing that there's something about each of these two very beautiful things that trigger the same recognition in your mind. Plato thought that this shared something was pointing to a deeper reality and an ancient knowing almost that each of us carries inside of us unknowingly. He called it the form with capital F, the way that he writes it in the Republic. And for Plato, the form is the most real version of a thing. So not the individual object you see in front of you, but the essence that makes all examples of that thing what they are. Now bear with me, because he was a bit of an abstract guy, but think of beauty itself, justice itself, or goodness itself. These are perfect standards that exist beyond the messy world that we experience. And then every beautiful sunset, every fair trial, every generous act is nothing but an imperfect instance of something greater, which he calls the form, that gives those things their character. So according to him, the physical examples change, they fade, they vary, but the form remains stable and complete. And one of Plato's most interesting ideas is that our souls already know these forms. According to him, before birth, the soul existed in a form of higher realm where it directly contemplated these perfect realities. But then when we enter the world, we forget about these realities. And life then becomes a strange kind of rediscovery. So when we encounter beauty, justice, or truth in this earthly world around us, something inside of us reacts because we are remembering. So, you know, that sudden flash of recognition, that feeling that just makes sense when you see a face, or you hear a piece of music, or you find the solution to a difficult problem. When you experience this thing and get this wave of, aha, it just feels right, this is what Plato interprets as recollection, because your ancient soul already knows. So from this perspective, he says that philosophy has a very different role than what we usually imagine it to have. It isn't, its role is then not about collecting new information, but it's about a disciplined way of helping the soul remember what it once was able to see very clearly through questioning, reflection, dialogue. Plato says that philosophy gradually strips away confusion, strips away illusion, and allows the mind to turn back towards this deeper structure that gives reality its meaning.